For generations, the ultimate sanctuary of human life was the absolute guarantee of public anonymity. But today, that fundamental right is being quietly eradicated by a multi-billion-dollar surveillance apparatus masquerading as a fashion accessory. We are no longer walking through a shared communal space, but a silent, decentralized panopticon wearing the sleek designer frames of Meta. We must examine how human beings fundamentally behave when they believe they are unobserved. Historically, the public square was a sanctuary of unrecorded existence. It was a space for genuine, unfiltered human interaction, spontaneous expression, and the necessary friction of communal living. When you walked down the street, you belonged solely to that moment in time. The introduction of the smartphone camera certainly eroded this sanctuary, but it maintained a crucial physical barrier. The act of recording required a deliberate, visible physical gesture. A raised phone is a universal signal of observation. It offers bystanders a momentary choice, the agency to walk away, to cover their face, or to simply alter their behavior. Meta smart glasses completely shatter that physical barrier, stripping the public of their agency without their consent. By embedding high-definition cameras and microphones into an object designed specifically to mimic ordinary, innocuous eyewear, the act of observation is weaponized. The wearer no longer has to announce their intentions, they simply have to look in your direction. This has triggered a profound psychological chilling effect across modern society. We are currently watching the rapid evolution of a new social stigma where individuals are actively altering their daily routines, avoiding eye contact, and treating wearers of these devices with intense suspicion. Situations like this are no longer rare, with more people avoiding anyone wearing smart glasses like the plague after cases in which they were used to film people without their consent, says the Cyber News. This widespread avoidance is not an overreaction, it is a perfectly rational defense mechanism against an invasive technology that refuses to ask for permission. When basic social interaction requires calculating whether a stranger's eyewear is silently documenting your existence, the casual hangout nature of public life completely collapses. The public sphere is no longer a shared community, it is a heavily mined landscape where anyone could be an undercover agent for a content machine.
Walking home from the beach when a man approached her.
He was wearing glasses, they just looked like sunglasses, and he just asked for my name and he asked where I was from.
2 weeks later, her friend sent her this video on TikTok.
Basically, the reason I've come over, I know it sounds a bit strange, but I'm in a bit of a rush. And I think you're really pretty, and I'd quite like to grab your number. Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, have a nice day anyway. Yeah.
I had no idea that it was happening to me. I didn't consent to that being posted. I didn't consent to being secretly filmed. It was so out of my control, which is the scary part for me. It definitely made me feel afraid to kind of go out in public.
To elevate this beyond a simple tech critique, we must process this phenomenon through the philosophical framework of Michel Foucault and his analysis of panopticism. In his seminal 1975 work, Discipline and Punish, Foucault expanded upon an architectural concept originally designed by Jeremy Bentham, the Panopticon. Bentham envisioned a circular prison with a central observation tower. The inmates in the surrounding cells are constantly backlit, fully visible to the tower. However, because of the tower's clever construction, the inmates can never actually see the guard. They never know exactly when they are being watched, only that they could be watched at any given second. Foucault recognized that the true terror of the Panopticon was not the guard in the tower. It was the psychological toll it took on the prisoners. Because observation is unverifiable, the inmates are forced to regulate their own behavior at all times. They internalize the surveillance. They become their own wardens. Foucault argued that this architectural mechanism was the ultimate metaphor for modern disciplinary societies where power is exercised not through physical force, but through the constant, looming threat of visibility. Meta has achieved something that even Foucault could not have fully conceptualized: a decentralized, mobile panopticon. There is no longer a central tower, and there is no state-sponsored guard. Instead, Meta has successfully outsourced the surveillance apparatus to the inmates themselves. By framing these glasses as a desirable lifestyle product, complete with designer branding and celebrity endorsements, the company has convinced everyday consumers to become the roving eyes of the Panopticon. When you walk into a coffee shop and see someone wearing these frames, it does not matter if the camera is actually rolling. The sheer possibility that you are being recorded forces you to alter your posture, police your speech, and suppress your natural reactions. The psychological prison walls are erected instantly in your own mind. You are trapped in a state of conscious, visible compliance, effectively erasing your authentic self just to survive a trip to the grocery store.
Sometimes you find yourself in a stranger's garage with a drill and a dental probe. So your smart glasses can now be spy glasses.
This light tells you I'm recording, but by my count, thousands of people are out there recording without this light.
They're hiring people on Facebook Marketplace to drill out the light for as much as $100. According to our reporting, folks are offering this service in at least 30 states, despite Meta's attempts to stop it.
When people come to you, do they ever tell you why they want to do this?
No, I don't ask, they don't tell me.
There are lots of people doing this, but there are also a lot of questions. How easy is it? Is it illegal? And can anything be done to stop it?
The true scam of this technological rollout is how Meta has masterfully disguised a massive societal boundary violation as a mere engineering hurdle. When critics and privacy advocates rightfully pointed out the inherent danger of covert face cameras, Meta's defense relied entirely on a tiny, blinking LED light situated on the corner of the frame. The company argued that this indicator was a sufficient replacement for the physical act of raising a camera, placing the burden of awareness entirely on the unsuspecting public. It is the ultimate manifestation of security theater, a performative gesture designed to create the illusion of safety while doing absolutely nothing to address the core ethical violation. This technological band-aid quickly proved completely inadequate against human ingenuity. The moment the hardware hit the streets, a massive secondary market emerged specifically dedicated to bypassing this singular safeguard. Users began using opaque tape, black markers, and sophisticated hardware modifications to blind the LED, transforming the device into a perfect espionage tool. Meta's response was to engage in an endless, exhausting arms race against its own consumers. Meta smart glasses automatically disable recording if users attempt to disable the device's recording indicator light, the company has revealed in the wake of mounting privacy concerns. Sources, Mashable. While the company frames this aggressive firmware update as a triumphant victory for consumer privacy, it is actually a devastating admission of failure. It proves that the hardware is fundamentally flawed at a conceptual level. If a consumer technology requires a mandatory system-level kill switch just to prevent its users from behaving like predators, the device should not exist in the public ecosystem. The greatest trick Meta ever pulled was convincing the world that this was an unavoidable evolution of convenience.
Our law firm at mwl-law.com publishes a chart. It's a 50-state survey on recording laws, and it outlines what we're looking for. And there's either all-party consent states, meaning that all parties to a recorded conversation need to consent to that. There are other states that are one-party consent states.
Meta could push an update tomorrow that would go to everyone, and now we have the ability to tell if someone's using it. They could take no glassel. They have the best engineers in the world. They could just build the same technology into the Meta AI app. There are technical solutions to these problems, and my goal is to push them toward making these solutions possible. Because what really worries me about this covert recording crowd is that they're not just being rude. They're risking our ability to put on to jump into this new world, to record hands-free videos with my kids, to travel the world with live transcription. They're not actually just great for me.
They have monetized the destruction of our comfort, turning the anxiety of the masses into a feature of their hardware. We are not just losing our privacy, we are losing the right to exist unbothered, stripped of our anonymity and forced to perform for an invisible audience that may or may not be watching behind a pair of designer lenses.
Let's start with a story that's just come out this week of two Harvard students in the US who've hacked Meta's Ray-Ban glasses in order to turn them into makeshift facial recognition systems, right? So all you have to do is look at someone and it will pull up information on that person about who they are, where they live, what their phone number is, and a lot more. Take a look.
We built glasses that let you identify anybody on the street. The information our tool collects from just a photo of your face is staggering.
To use it, you just put the glasses on, then as you walk by people, the glasses will detect when somebody's face is in frame. This photo is used to analyze them, and after a few seconds, their personal information pops up on your phone.
Hi, ma'am. Wait, are you Betsy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I met you through like the Cambridge Community Foundation, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's great to meet you. I'm Kane.